Hello, welcome. I feel very uncomfortable right now. I like to put my best foot forward in the beginning of my YouTube videos. I don't think I have ever started a YouTube video where I wasn't done up, hair done, makeup done, clothes on. I have clothes on. But for today, that wouldn't exactly make sense because today we are doing our very first Get Ready With Me. Before we even start getting ready though, I have to explain to you guys how my brain works. Very scary, I know. Trust the process moment. That's what this is going to be. So I don't know when this started or why it's a thing, what sort of mental illness I have that makes me do this. But I have a very, very hard time deciding things. I have this idea in my mind that inanimate objects feel sad if they are not used enough. For example, when I wash dishes and I'm washing a couple plates, instead of putting these heavy stone plates, I don't know actually what material it is, but it's very heavy, these heavy plates, instead of putting them at the top of the pile, I have to take all of the plates down so that I can put those plates at the bottom of the pile before returning the rest of the plates. It's a whole thing, but that way we go through all of them and every single one gets a time to be used. Now that is the same with every single thing in my life. Almost. There are some exceptions. Throughout our lives, we make so many decisions a day, and getting ready is no exception to that. There are so many decisions to be made, and I can't make that many decisions, especially in the first hour that I'm awake. Absolutely not. So I have found tools to help me get ready in the morning where everyone has a fair shot at getting used, and I don't feel like the bad guy for picking an outfit. I told you, my brain does not brain like everyone else's. So when I was younger, not too younger, I can't remember when this started. It's just all of a sudden, one day, I couldn't pick out my outfit. And I was pretty young when this first happened, when I first had this thought that I cannot decide things or else I'm gonna be the bad guy for picking one thing over another. I can't play favorites. So what I used to do as a kid was every time my laundry would be done, or I would do my laundry, again, depending on when this started, I would take my laundry and just like my plates, I would put the clean clothes at the bottom of the pile or the side that I don't start on. And then I would just work my way down my clothes, and I would work my way, and then these would then be dirty, they would get washed, and they would be put over here, and everything would shift forward, right? I'm showing you this in my closet if you don't know what this demonstration is. That's what I'm trying to show you. Once I was old enough to have a phone, I have been using my phone to make decisions for me. So currently I have an app called Tiny Decisions. It's this red app with a white wheel on it, if you want to look it up. And that is what I use to make my decisions in the morning. So there are 3 features of that app that I use every single day, or at least every day that I get ready. But I use this app for so many more things, even what to eat during the day and what show to put on. Even the books that I read, I never choose what I'm reading. It is always chosen for me. So I do my TBR videos so that I have a bit more control over what I choose, but it's still not me choosing because I'm limited to a certain prompt. Wow, I'm really sounding insane. The 3 features I use on my app. Let's get to that. So the first feature I use, I don't know the names of any of these, to be honest, but the first feature I use is the finger picker. That's what I call it. Where I have my phone, I place as many options as I have. This is normally if I have 4 or less options, I will use this method. Because you can only put 5 fingers on there, I believe. Anyway, if I have 4 or less choices, I use the finger picker. You have your screen, you place as many options as you have. Mine is normally 4. This is for my different steps in my morning routine. There are 4 steps, and this decides what order I do those steps in. I place my fingers on the screen, and it will randomly light up one of my fingers. Does that make sense? underneath my fingers, there will be a circle that gets created on my screen, and one of those will light up and the other 3 will disappear. That's how I know what to start with. The options are always as follows. My pinky is everything I need to do in the bathroom, that step. Then we've got hair, makeup, and then clothing. Those are my 4 steps of my morning routine. Feature number 2 that I use basically on the daily is a random number generator. After I got a phone, this is the method I would use to choose my outfits, because while stacking your plates underneath works great for things that are all the same, like my plates, it does not quite work well for clothing. I had terrible style when I was a child because I couldn't choose for myself. I don't know if I'd have any better luck if I did choose for myself, but because everything was programmed before me, I would just wake up in the morning, pick whatever's on top, and go on with my day. I would have some crazy mixes, okay? I'd be wearing bright pink leggings with some like blue and white zebra print top. It was bad, okay? First of all, the early 20s fashion is just not for me. I don't think it's cute. So that's what I grew up in. So that already screwed me over. And then I had my brain not functioning correctly where I can't make decisions, and it was just a bad combination. So I used the random number generator, so everyone still got a shot of equalness, but there was more flexibility. If I'm going through my closet one at a time, I feel like I can't possibly skip an article of clothing if it doesn't match the piece I already picked out for bottoms. That would be rude. But if I randomly generated a number of the tops that I have, I counted to that number and I said, that doesn't really match, I'm gonna go to the next one, it wasn't as rude. I don't know why. I don't know why that works for my brain, but it does. So I've been using this random number generator for years. And I used to count every single item. I would count every single shirt that I owned. I would type it into Google. Google has a random number generator that I used to use. And I would type it into Google, and then it would give me a random number, and I would count to that number, and I would use that top. Then for necklaces, I would count the amount of necklaces I have, put that into the generator, calculate it, count to that number, wear that necklace. It was a process. Getting ready was difficult. I usually got ready the night before because it was such a long process. Now that I have my app, I have a set number that is just always in there, and it's a number that makes sense with my brain. I don't know why. It doesn't really make sense, but it makes sense in my brain, and that number doesn't change. The number is 32. I have 32 necklaces that I own, and that number never changes. If I get gifted a necklace, one of my necklaces is going. I remain with 32 necklaces. So now you're probably asking me, Gabby, you obviously have more than 32 shirts. So what do you do if you have more than 32, but your number only goes up to 32? That's an excellent question, let me tell you. I know I have more than 32 shirts. I don't know how many shirts I have, but how my closet is set up is I have my cold weather shirts in this room, and then in my bedroom, I have my hot weather shirts. So since we can start from 2 different sides, I start with a coin. Now this is the 3rd feature of my app that I use. Yes, I could carry a coin around with me and use that, but I have it all compacted into one single app that I just tap a button and it flips a coin for me. I looked at the numbers a couple days ago, and it keeps track of how many heads I've gotten over the time that I've had this app and how many tails. I don't know how long I've had this app, but there are 1,200 of each. There's like 1,286 tails and 1,242 heads or something like that. But there are 1,200 of each, which is crazy that I use this app so much, that I use these coins. There are weeks where my most used app is Tiny Decisions. Anyway, so if there are more options than just 32, I will flip a coin. Now, heads will always be starting with my cold weather outfits. We read left to right, and when looking at my clothes, cold weather is left of my house, and hot weather is right of my house. Please don't look at the back of my head. I have not washed my hair in a few days and I know it's greasy and I should not have turned around. So we went over what happens if there are more options than 32. What happens if there are less options than 32? Glad you asked. Let's use my shoes as an example. I have 12 shoes. They are used in my counting on a daily basis because they go with almost every outfit. Now I do have some tall boots that don't always get into the count. I have some sandals that don't always fit into the count, other miscellaneous shoes like that, but 12 is my normal amount. Since 12 goes into 32 at least 2 times, say I get number 16, I will count through my 12 shoes, and then I will count to my 4th shoe, and that's the shoe I will wear. 12 plus 4 equals 16. I know that does not give everyone an equal opportunity, an equal shot at getting picked, because the first 8 shoes get 3 chances at getting picked, and the other shoes only get 2. For some reason, my brain doesn't care about that. My brain doesn't care. As long as everyone gets at least 2 opportunities, it doesn't care that the first 8 get more of a chance than the rest. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up is if there are less than 10 options. Say I get a 6, I will obviously count to the 6th option. But if I get a number, say it's 32, the 5th option wins, because 3 plus 2 equals 5. If I have 1 through 5, that applies. If I get number 27, 2 plus 7 equals 9, I don't have 9 options, I only have 5, that's fine because everyone gets 2 opportunities. So the 4th would get picked. If I have 6 to 9 options, I have to get an exact number. Not like an exact 1 through 9 number, but a number that adds up to that number. For example, because that didn't make sense for my brain and I'm the one that does it. If I have 8 options and I get number 27, 2 plus 7 equals 9, I don't have a 9th option, so I will just generate a different number until it equals a number that I do have. Because again, if I'm combining numbers and there's 8 options and I get number 9, not everyone has 2 opportunities to get chosen. I think that is all of my weirdness. Now that we've gone over all that, I can start getting ready. Now, I honestly don't know how well this is going to work because I'm obviously calculating a lot in the mornings when I get ready. I am constantly flipping a coin. I'm constantly generating a number. So I am nervous that I won't have the brain capacity to also hold a conversation while I'm doing this, but there are some just fun things that I want to tell you about. I want to show you my makeup routine, and I want to show you the products I use that I hate because most of them are hand-me-downs. But I want to show you all of these things, and I thought it would be really fun, and I want more sit-down talk with me videos, and this is a way to do that that is more interesting than just me sitting and talking to you guys. However, my brain does not work like a normal human's, and I have to go through all of these leaps and jumps, and it's gonna be a lot for the people who aren't used to it. But hopefully you can stick around and chat with me, and we'll have a great time. So, because I use my phone to film, I do not have my app with me today, very sad. So I'm going to be using the number generator on Google for everything that I would normally use my finger picker, and for everything I would normally use my normal number generator. And then of course we have a coin. This is a coin that my husband got me while we were dating. He knew so early on that I was screwed up and that I needed some help in my life. So this is a yes or no coin. It's kind of fun. So we'll use that for all of my decisions today. First things first, the order, obviously, of what I'm going to do. We're gonna generate a number. We get 11, which equals 2. And if you remember my system, it is bathroom, hair, makeup, clothes. So number 2 would be hair. However, I do not always do a fancy hairstyle every day. So I have to flip to see if I even do hair for the day, or if I'm just gonna brush it and call it a day. Nope, no hair today. So we are just gonna brush that when we get to the bathroom step. So instead of that, let's generate a number. We get 6. That's going to equal 3 because we're gonna go through the 3 and then around the 3 again. Bathroom, makeup, clothing. Clothing, yes, that's my favorite part. generated number 7. We're gonna go straight to my dresses today, dresses slash skirts, because I get to go to the temple today, which is very exciting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is very exciting because I don't get to go very frequently because of my agoraphobia. In 2022, we have a nice little plain circle. Wonderful. Today is really special because I get to go to the temple with my great grandma. She is 95? That could be wrong. She's in her 90s though. 1, 2, 10, 11, 12. Got it. This is one of those instances where I'm counting my normal 12 shoes, but we've gotten some boots, and I think it might be too hot outside today for boots. So I'm going to veto that. Okay, I think I fully picked out my outfit, so I will be right back once I get changed. I am back. It is so exciting that I get to go with my great grandma to the temple today. I actually get to go with multiple generations. I get to go with my great grandma, and then my grandma and grandpa are picking me up along with my sister. So it'll just be a huge family event. It'll be amazing. We all get to go. The last time I got to go to the temple with my great grandma was for my sealing to my husband, and it was really special that she was able to be there, along with all of my family and friends who could enter the temple. Those who couldn't stood outside and greeted us as we got out, and it was just so special. Okay, makeup time. Very exciting. Now, lighting in my house is terrible. And to do my makeup, I make it even worse. So normally, natural lighting like this would be perfect to do my makeup. I can see clearly what I'm doing on my face. But my mirror is over on this wall. I just sit down on the floor right here in front of this mirror, and that's where I do my makeup. If I have a bunch of light streaming in from this side, I don't have enough light to counteract on that side. So instead, close my blinds, and I turn on this light in this room, and I turn on the light in the hallway. And then I have equal light on both sides of my face. Perfect. Okay, now for my makeup. Oh no, I can't see myself. There's a bar right here, right in front of my face. It's fine. I don't need to see myself. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. That is also a very normal part of my morning routine. I will get like my base of my makeup done and then have to blow my nose. And I'll just blow it all off. My makeup is a little silly. So I do not have a normal routine for my makeup. I flip for everything. So I will take my trusty dusty makeup bag, and for each step of my makeup routine, I will flip to see whether I get to do that step. And then I have 2 options of almost everything in my bag, and if there are 2 options, I will flip for which product I use. So without further ado, let's get into it, starting with my foundation, or my CC cream. Yes, we get to use my foundation. I use the Mary Kay CC cream in color very light because I am pale. All right, next, I don't have any concealer left. I love that Kleenex has little facts on the back of the box. Did you know that? Like, as a kid, I would totally go crazy over reading the back of my tissue boxes. As a kid, I still go crazy over reading the back of my tissue boxes. For example, today it says, locations far from bright lights are best for viewing stars. Some parks and communities have even made special efforts to become optimal places for viewing the night sky. I was about to say who knew, but I knew. Wow. Okay, today is very much an ADHD day where my brain cannot focus on a certain thing. So we're moving on to powders. No powders. All right, next would be bronzer. Yes, we're using bronzer. I have 2 options. I have the one I prefer, and then I have the other one. So if we get a yes, then it's the one I prefer. If it's a no, then it's the other one. And it's a yes. Okay, perfect. Blush. No. Dang it. Okay, if I had my way every single day, I would do my CC cream, my cream blush, a little bit of highlighter, some sort of color on the eyes, either one of my eyeshadow palettes or just a little bit of my blush on my eyes, mascara, and lip gloss. That would be my go-to. However, I don't get to pick those things. Not me acting annoyed when this is something I did to myself. All right, highlighter is next. Yes, okay, again, there's one that I prefer and there's one that I do not prefer. So we gotta know. So this is the one that I like least here, and this is Flesh Certain. That's what that looks like. Eyebrows. Woo. No for eyebrows. Eyeshadow. No. Eyeliner. Yes. All right, this is choosing either white or black. I think I prefer white. So we're gonna have yes be the white side. And it's yes. So I get some white eyeliner for my waterline. And then, oh, I normally flip for the color of mascara because I used to have black and blue. I just ran out of black, so now I only have blue, which is super not fun. I think last but not least is lips. There's a gloss and a stick in here, but I don't get to use either. So, all right, that's it. That is our lineup for today. I am so nervous. This mirror is not where I need it to be. All right, that's better. I'm so nervous because I have agoraphobia, as we all know by this point, and it is very difficult for me to leave my house, especially without Romeo. And today, Romeo will be working, and I will have to go with other people. It's not like I'm going alone, but I will be without him, and that is really hard for me. Oh no. This is the worst point I could have sneezed at. This is not fun, you guys. As much as I hate sneezing, part of me likes that I get my sneezes on camera so often because then I get to like count in editing how many times I sneezed. So at the end of this, I will give you a number of how many sneezes I sneezed this morning. Oh my gosh, there's foundation everywhere, except for on my face. I think I'm done sneezing. Oh, sorry. However, most of the makeup is now off of my face. Oh, I got it in my hair. Wonderful. Not the snot. I got the CC cream in my hair. Okay, so we've got to add some more to the places that got ruined, which is my nose, my cheeks, my chin, and it looks like my jaw somehow. I don't even remember what I was saying before I started sneezing. I think I was talking about how my agoraphobia prevents me from going places without Romeo. So yeah, my agoraphobia prevents me from going places without Romeo, and it is very difficult for me to do that. However, I am hopeful because I have so much family going with me that maybe they can replace Romeo for the day. I mean, that sounds terrible, but just in my, like, he is my comfort blanket, just in that sense, I'm hoping that everything will work out and I won't have a panic attack. All right, does this even do anything to my face? I can't tell. Do I put it on almost every single day? Yep. Sure do. Alright, and then my hands just feel gross for the rest of my makeup routine. We have some bronzer. Very loved, very used. Partially because most of my makeup is hand-me-downs, so this was not mine for its entire life. Most of the palettes are mine, but all of the spare products that I have in, honestly, all of the products that I'm going to be using today. Oh, except for the CC cream. That I got for my wedding, so I could look all pretty and have a color that was actually mine. That was actually my skin color, because most of the things I get is from my mother. Good boy. As I was saying, most of the things, oh no, I need to sneeze again. Oh, please don't. Oh, please don't. See, this is what I'm saying. I just got my CC cream on, and now probably all of everything that I just put on my nose is probably gone, because I had to blow my nose again. Because I have something wrong with me where I need 12 tissues every single morning. Every single morning I wake up feeling like I'm dying, that I am the sickest I've ever been, and I blow my nose for an hour and a half every morning, and then the rest of the day I'm completely fine. I'm healed. Someone please help. As I was saying, I've gotten most of my makeup from my mother. Ooh, you know what? Oh my gosh, ADHD moment. Let's get my bronzer back out and do a little bit on the eyes too. However, the problem with that is first that everything's expired. Everything I'm putting on my face today is probably expired. But the bigger problem, at least to me, because I don't really care about expired makeup like I should, she is like 4 shades darker than I am. Her skin tone is very dark for like a white person. And she has more of like a reddish undertone and I have more of a yellow undertone, and it just, most of my life my foundation has not matched because I get my foundation from her if she doesn't want it anymore, if she gets a new one, or I don't know why she gives me stuff. But for my wedding, I got my very own CC cream because I was going for a very light look for my wedding. It was very much like natural. I had a little bit of gloss, some mascara, maybe some highlighter. Like, I didn't do anything special for my wedding. And I don't regret it, honestly. See, I'm putting this highlighter on. This is the one that I don't like very much. Do you see any sort of glow at all? No, me neither. I might as well, while I'm here, shout out my favorite highlighter, because that, oh my gosh, it gives so much. It is Glazed Donut by Ofra x Nikki Tutorials, which I'm a Nikki stan. I love watching her. So of course I trust anything she puts out. I didn't know what this was when I got it because, again, my mother gave it to me. And it was crazy because I watch Nikki all the time and she always uses Glazed Donut. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the most stunning highlighter ever. I love it. It's so pretty. And then one day I was filming a fake Get Ready With Me because I used to do that as a child. And I looked at the back and I said, I'm using my highlighter glazed, and I was flabbergasted. I was so excited that I had Glazed Donut and I didn't even know it. My favorite highlighter was Glazed Donut. Anyway, fun story time. Have I told y'all anything? Like, I feel like I've been talking for like an hour at you guys, but have I really said anything? I need another tissue, but I am out of this box. So BRB, I'm gonna get a new box of tissues. I actually keep a log on my phone in my notes app of when I open a new tissue box. So I would place on the screen, once I look it up, how many days it took me to get through this tissue box of, how many tissues are in here? 85 tissues. New fact, people have been gliding across the ice since about 1000 BCE. The earliest ice skaters made their blades out of natural materials such as bone, not metal. Fun fact, that one I didn't know. You learn something new every single day if you just read. Last but not least, we have our mascara. I also don't know if my lash curler does anything. I feel like it doesn't. And I also feel like that's because this bottom part is rubber. I feel like that just doesn't do anything. Like, the people I see curl their eyelashes use like a completely metal curler. I'm like, that probably actually does something. But this, is there any change? Any difference? That's majority of what I do to my face every single day. I put stuff on and I say, did that make a difference? I don't think so. The CC cream, I don't think it made a difference. The bronzer, I don't think you can tell it's on my face. The highlighter, definitely not. The eyeliner, maybe a little bit, but that's gonna rub off in 2 minutes. So, was it even worth it? Mascara though, that's my girl. I don't flip for mascara. I put her on every day. Well, not every day, but every day I do my makeup, I put on mascara. If I'm putting anything on my face, it is mascara. This blue is fantastic. Probably because it's extremely expired. Like, my mom, I'm pretty sure, bought this mascara for my aunt's 40th birthday. I think she's 60 now. Like, this is, I don't think she's that old, but it's at least 10 years old, this mascara. Send help. I should not be putting this on my eyes, but you know what? I don't have any other option. I get my extreme fanism, I don't know what to call that, when you get obsessed with like actors. I get that from my mother because the last black mascara I had was absolutely terrible. It was so bad, but my mom bought it because it was Victoria Beckham's mascara and she's obsessed with, who's her husband? Oh my gosh, my mom would kill me. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Something Beckham. Victoria and blank Beckham. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. David Beckham. Whew. Ah, tissue. Oh no, they're folded together. I hate how Kleenex does that. She's obsessed with David Beckham. And so, in turn, his whole family. So Victoria Beckham coming out with mascara, she was on that so fast. And then she hated it because it was terrible. It had no lengthening properties. It had no volumizing properties. It was just not a good mascara. So sorry if you like it, but I did not. And so I have been switching between blue mascara that's probably 14 years old and black mascara that I absolutely hate. Okay, we're done with my makeup. Did I look pretty? No? I thought so. Last but not least, bathroom. There is one decision that needs to be made in the bathroom, which is the perfume that I put on. So let's do my number generator. I have 6 different perfumes. Let's see which one we're going to be using today. Perfume number, oh, that's a 7, so never mind. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, that one's fine. It's definitely not like a springy scent, but it's fine. What are you gonna do? Choose your own? No. And now I finally get to rinse off. Wow, that blue is really bluing today. Oh my gosh, it's so steamy in here. Now I finally get to wash off the CC cream off of my hands, which has been bothering me for 30 minutes. Perfume number 3 is In the Stars from Bath & Body Works. More of a body mist. It's often not until I get into the bathroom, where this is very much a more white light than out there, that I realize that my makeup was doing something. And sometimes I look at my face and I say, oh, that is too much bronzer, which is what I'm feeling today on my forehead. So there's just too much up there. So I think we might take the brush and try to make that better after I brush my teeth. Does anyone else, after they put on their deodorant, do a little jig? Make sure it's in there. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Honestly, nothing helps when I have to sneeze better than turning off the light. That just fixes everything. See, the hard part is I can't see what I'm doing in this room. This room is the worst room for doing my makeup. The light is so terrible. I need to just get like one of those propped up mirrors and do my makeup at my desk, where there's like some natural sunlight and I can see what I'm doing. Got my lip smackers. Again, probably had this since I was in middle school, but it's not gone, so we have to keep using it, even though I hate the smell and the taste of the Coca-Cola ones. And yes, I put my chapstick in a plastic Easter egg because I lose it frequently, and if it's in a huge yellow egg, you lose it. I have not lost this chapstick since I put it in an Easter egg. Hack for you. Okay, let me blow my nose one more time and then I'll give you an OOTD. You know what I just remembered? I stopped showing you what the products I was using on my face were after, I think, highlighter. I don't think I showed you any of the other products I put on my face. Gabby! For eyeliner, we have ColourPop Creme Gel Liner. I don't think there's a shade. Oh wow, that is bright. That's what it looks like. And then for mascara, we have L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Original in the shade Cobalt Blue. So there you have it. That's what I have on my face. My hair's kind of giving today for some reason. Like, I know it's super greasy, but I just brushed it and it kind of just fell really nicely around my face. I'm also loving the length of my hair right now. However, how does that even happen? How does that happen? Look at my laces. That black strand right there, hair. Just wrapped around my laces to the point where I can't untangle them. What was I saying? Oh, my hair. I really like the length of it. Like, it's getting really long. However, I've been looking at pictures of me when I like cut it all off, like up to my shoulders, cut it off. And I'm like, that was cute. But the problem was it wasn't cute unstyled. And I had the energy then to style my hair every single day. I don't have the energy to style it every single day. So I'm gonna keep it long. I just need encouragement. Let me know in the comments how stunning you think I look. But I think I'll want to keep my hair short when I'm older. So I want to rock the long hair for as long as I can. That just feels like a very grown-up thing, is to have short hair. We're ready! We're ready for the day. I bet you didn't know I even wear glasses. Well, I do. I only wear glasses when I need to see, though. Like, see far away. So I wear glasses to church, wear glasses to the temple, the movies, any sort of sports event. Glasses from America's Best. Necklace from probably Amazon. Dress from Amazon. It has pockets. This is one of my mission dresses. And then shoes from Amazon as well. They're fake Converse. Because nothing about me is real. And then ring from my husband. That's my OOTD. That was so stupid. Everything I own is from Amazon. Thank you so much for coming along, for learning about all of my rules and weirdness and seeing how I get ready every morning. I'm so sorry today was such an ADHD day and my brain could not focus on a single thought. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. I'll do more like it. It was super fun for me to do, and it's nice having someone to get ready with. I appreciate all the love and support. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Okay, calm down. No one's gonna think it's that weird. It's a good thing I woke up early today because I've got to be ready in a long time from now. Oh my gosh, it scares me every single time that AC turns on. I need to brush my nose again. Brush my nose? I need to blow my nose again. But we're gonna try to get through what I have to do in the bathroom first. Was this the worst video you've ever watched? Be honest.